All right. Hey, Kalamazoo listeners. Welcome back to another podcast. You can follow along on YouTube as well as our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter pages. Today we have Grant Miller on as a co-host for this podcast along with myself. And we have a new team that is playing in the competitive division. Welcome, Travis, Andy, and Gingerbread Man. You guys are going to be playing for the Diamond Dogs. How is everyone doing today?
Good. Very well.
Doing good, doing good.
Can't complain.
Awesome. Everyone's enjoying the weather. Nice 55 and sunny outside.
Hey, can't complain while it lasts.
Exactly. So, Andy, we'll start with you here. As the team captain, give us a rundown on the roster, how you guys kind of got everything put together. Any new players? What do you have for the league this year?
Well, we got some new players, Brian Davidowski, and then we got Joe Allen, which we don't really know much about him yet. So
okay,
we'll see. We know Brian's a lefty. He's a thrower pitcher. I know Joe, he might be a switch hitter. We're not really sure yet.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll get to practice him before the spring training. And then It's the three of us and then Danny Trayer. So we got Josh Ballard, Travis Bryant, me, and Danny, and then the two new guys rounded out at 6. So
nice.
Yeah, we're hoping to make a splash in the competitive division.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be awesome. So how did you guys get hooked into or with the new players? How did that come about? The new guys in the league.
Really, it was just Brian and Grant getting us together in a group chat and saying that we all wanted to play competitive, and eventually we just said, "Yeah, let's do it." And then I played with Ballard last year, so
yep.
On Take a Whiff with Nico, and I think we just enjoyed playing together. So I asked him if he'd join the squad, and he was down. And then Danny joined a little bit later because he's longtime friends with Josh. So yeah.
Yep, and then Danny played in the fall ball with us last year too. So cool. Grant, let's go ahead. Let's dive into the big topic of a certain person that we have on this call today. I'll let you go ahead and take over this.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, and before we do that, I just wanted to ask Andy and then Ballard. So Andy, we can go first. How did you get into the Kalamazoo Wiffle Ball League? And I think I know the answer already, but at least you can tell for the listeners, not so much for me. And then also, what was your background growing up? Did you play wiffle ball, baseball, other sports? Just for the listeners' sake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so last year was my rookie year. Did pretty well, I thought, but I got into it because Grant, I was at a wedding in last winter with him, and he asked me if I'd want to join. I know Grant from Little League and Ponies. We played together, and then, I was actually an athletic training student for his baseball team at Western for one of my semesters for my clinicals for athletic training program. So it's kind of how I got into it, and then we just hopped on a team in the social division with Nico and Ballard, and we had a pretty good first year, I thought, as a squad. Ballard,
you guys did for sure. Oh, and another thing, correct me if I'm wrong, but Andy, I'm pretty sure you played in our backyard wiffle ball league too at my house growing up.
I think I played like 1 or 2 games, but I wasn't
not full time.
I was always over there in that.
Yeah,
I was in that neighborhood a lot with some friends around there, and just played a lot of wiffle ball growing up. So got a pretty good background there.
Yeah, shout out Bay City.
Yeah, East Side. Right. We don't talk about the East Side on this podcast. Come on.
Yeah, nice water you got over
there. Right. All right, Ballard. And then you, obviously you're a little different. You played in the Kalamazoo Wiffle Ball League for a while, took a little hiatus. What made you make the jump back and kind of want to join the league again?
So, to be honest, I really didn't want to leave in the first place, but I was actually got a job opportunity to move out of state, and it was to a state that I've always wanted to live in Kentucky, which was absolutely beautiful. But when I got down there, discovered that around the area, like just wiffle ball was not a topic. There's didn't seem like any leagues, anything like that, any backyard type of deals. So I was, itching to play, of course, following along while I was living down there. And when I made the move back, that was one of my first orders of business was, get a hold of the league and say, hey, I'd like to come back. I absolutely enjoy it, love it.
Definitely. Yeah, no, that was that's awesome. That's awesome that you stayed plugged in that long and were like you said, that was like the first thing you were thinking of once you got back to the state. And I think would be a lot of people like that if they moved away and they came back would do the same thing. Who's in our league, so that's really cool. But back to what
I did the same thing with that too.
Yeah,
Move away, come back, had the itch with it.
Yeah,
yep.
It's very much a family. This league, everyone always asks how everyone's doing. Family, kids, stuff like that. And I don't know. I feel close to a lot of the folks in the league, and it's I don't know. There's a lot of camaraderie, and you care about folks in the league.
Yeah,
definitely it is. I mean, we all talk all the time. We have a feeler out for a K-Wings game here in a couple weeks. So yeah, definitely. So let's dive into this because I'm really itching to hear about what happened over the fall. Grant, go ahead. What do we got here?
Yeah. We'll transition this over to the bad boys killer of 2022, Travis Branch. We've talked about this on some of the other podcasts, but Travis single-handedly, I shouldn't say single-handedly, but he did put the ending blows in both playoff games against us. He had a walk-off game one, and then game two. No, game one might have. Was it a walk-off or a game winner? It was the last inning, whatever it was.
One was a go-ahead. I think it was either 2-run or a solo shot, and then the other was a walk-off. Second game was a walk-off.
That's right. Yeah, it was dramatic, as dramatic as you could get that series. And Travis, he's hit a lot of home runs against me. I can tell you that much. I feel like Travis hit a number against me.
2 to be exact. One regular season, one postseason. So the thing is, I'm not a good wiffle ball player. I just keep with it, and eventually I have success. I don't know. I get lucky every now and then, and I've taken some of the best pitchers deep in my time. But then also I can look really stupid against your average pitcher. I don't know what it is, but funny story, Grant, that I was watching you pitch before that hit, that home run, and I could tell you were walking AJ to get to me because I had struck out my previous at bat because, like I said, and you're not healthy, so you're kind of just trying to get us to swing at some garbage, And I walked over, I whispered in Tom Mausen's ear. I said, he's walking AJ to get to me. I got to make him look silly here. And Tom's like, good luck. And then it just worked out. I got lucky. I felt confident in a swing up in the zone. The previous swing I took was exactly the same, and I missed it. And yeah, we got lucky. But you throwing healthy, though, I don't stand a freaking chance in that scenario. I
appreciate it, but you had the glory. You got the glory that day, that's for sure.
It's just the way it worked out, and we can all look back at it and laugh now. I even made up a meme late that night. It was Michael Jordan, I said,
the crying face?
No, it was the one where he says, well, on my meme anyway, it was Michael Jordan saying, I walked AJ to get to Travis. And then below it said, and I took that personally. So
Nice. You should have done the
Dude.
crying face, the Michael Jordan crying face emoji, and then put Grant's face on it, and it would have been perfect.
I didn't want to get too salty. Grant's always been very kind to me. You know, we talk shit.
Oh, that
back
would have
and
been
forth,
so
but
good,
he's always
though.
been very kind.
That's the good trash talk that this league loves and is built upon, though. That's the good stuff.
He's always been good.
Yeah, that series too, the Chuckers and the Bad Boys, we were getting heated on each other too. Like it was a fun series just because of all the drama and emotion between the two teams. So it was just a good way to end it, even though it didn't work out for my team. But that kind of can transition to what we're going to ask you was, Travis, you were a Chucker your whole career, and you can remind the listeners how long you've been playing in the KWL. And this is your first year playing with a new team. The Chuckers were in the rumor mill a lot. Okay, was there going to be a team? Was there not going to be a team? Okay, looks like the team disbanded. Then the team kind of split up, but the team kind of came back on its own kind of new look Chuckers. Kind of walk us through all of that, maybe some of the internal drama, if there even was, and just like what the communication was like between all of the players and what you guys maybe were planning on before you knew the team was going to kind of disband and vice versa. Just walk us through all of that fun stuff.
So yeah, where do I start? Technically, this will be my third team. I started out in the league in 2009 as a, I don't know, 20, 21-year-old kid, as a lemon, with Mike Graber as the captain. Great dude. Then he ended up moving away and I took over the franchise for a couple of years, and then I just didn't have a time to run a franchise and be players to play for the franchise. So I packed it up, and then the first people who reached out to me were John and the Chuckers, and at the time they had never made a postseason. It was 14-ish, 16 teams in the league at that time. And then the first year I played with them, we made the postseason. We had a kid, Connor Barr. He was a lefty. He had long orangutan arms. And he could just
dud.
Yeah,
he was so fast too.
Yeah, he could run like a gazelle. He was our rock. And then like the first year I got there, we made the playoffs. We knocked out Scared Hitless in the first round, which we weren't supposed to do.
That was after they won back to back too. So that was a big upset. Yeah,
that was fun for us. I lived off that high for weeks. That was 2012, 13. And I've been a Chucker. This would have been, if things would have went according to plans in my head, this would have been my 10th year as a Chucker since then. And I've gotten really close with John and Tom, and I got Thomas Sheffert into the league. I've known AJ forever. I think AJ and Brophy came over in 2017, and that's when we won the championship. And the thing about that run that I love is we just got hot at the right time. They just pitched us to winning that series. We shouldn't have won it, but somehow we got hot at the right time. We did. The thing I love though is we're just a bunch of dudes. We're not a super team, and we really just were able to grind out at bats and get lucky at the right time. Knocked out some really good teams. I'll never forget Brophy getting that last strikeout. I will admit I have it, the YouTube video saved on my Facebook. So, when I have too many drinks and want to relive the glory days, I just scroll back and I'll watch that last strikeout.
That's awesome.
Coming into this year though, John, he's not a young man anymore. I love him to death. I still text him on a regular basis, see how he's doing. He was thinking either going competitive or retiring. And the majority of us wanted to go to recreational or retiring. Majority of us wanted to stay competitive. It's automatic in the playoffs and stuff like that. Well, he was just going to retire because most of us were going to still be competitive. And then a couple of the guys, AJ and Thomas, said, well, we want to be competitive. I'm like, that's the only night that works for my schedule with a kid. So I have to be competitive, even if I'm not good enough. Well, it turns out Tom Mousen, he said, well, I'll do whatever. Just let me know. He's kind of sitting on the sideline. I was sitting on the sideline. And then it turns out Thomas and AJ were talked to by the folks over at the Diablos. And then they decided that they were going to go make a super team, even though maybe sometimes in the past they hinted at the fact that they don't like super teams. Me personally, I don't think they're good for the league.
Agreed. Yeah.
We need as much,
parity
as possible. We don't need. I don't like going up and striking out every single at bat, but that's just me. But I'm really good at striking out. But it was just weird how it all went down. I figured, we're all going to be on the same night. Maybe we can figure out a way to be together. And I reached out to some of the Diablo folks and didn't hear anything back. So that was evident. I had a rough year last year, but also I was showing up to games with no sleep. My kid was teething. Grant, you're going to find out all about that.
Very soon.
Working all day, no sleep, show up a wiffle ball. Yeah, take some hacks against guys throwing 80 miles an hour. Good luck. But I can still catch the ball and play decent defense, stuff like that at the time. But I don't know. And I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But I don't know. I've been in this league a long time, and I won a championship. At this point, it's more about friendship and being close to your teammates. And I thought that was going to kind of keep us together, but I guess that was not. So I probably have some hurt feelings, but I'm also a sensitive guy, so it's probably part of that too. So probably, I just love those guys, and I would have just loved to be together still. And I don't hate them, or I don't think I'll be rude to them at all, but man, it's just like when you like a girl and she doesn't like you back, Sorry if that was too much of a ramble.
No, that's a great analogy.
That was great.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
I got Chef into this league. He was like a 19-year-old kid working at Best Buy. I'm like, hey, you're athletic. You want to play some ball? And kid could throw a fastball, and was great. And then all of a sudden he learned his curveball, and man, it was just fun going on that adventure with him and watching his development. And now just to have to face it. I mean, I know what to do, but still, I don't know. It's just like, it's hard to explain. And I actually talked to my therapist about this. It's just like, man, it's like you're mourning something. That sounds stupid.
Yeah, dude.
You're close. You're close to those guys.
You're losing.
Yeah, we've been playing with them for that many years.
Yeah.
AJ showed up my 30th birthday party. My wife put on a huge thing. He and John came to the roast. It was it was a 30th birthday party roast. They both came to that. So I don't know. They feel like family to me. So, and then just all of a sudden, no offense to Diamond Dogs, they're going to be badass and we're all going to be best friends forever. But man, it just feels like you got to grieve the OG Chuckers,
Yeah. No,
It's gonna
I
give
feel
you
that.
something to play for though too. You know, it's you guys are gonna have a great squad this year.
I've been riding the exercise bike 45 minutes a night, and I'm down 15 pounds from last year.
Let's go.
The Travis Branch revitalization season right here to prove them all wrong.
Revenge tour.
Revenge tour. Love it.
But I don't want to be the sole.
No, that was great. That was great because we definitely wanted to hear that. So I appreciate you sharing your insight there.
I love those guys very much, but they're just a little bruising in the heart. That's all.
Yeah,
it'll heal in time, and if you guys play them this year, you're gonna give them hell, and it'll be a fun series to watch.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think Ballard already had looked into it. What are we, week 4?
Yeah, no, week 3, I believe. So, with us being a new team, and in the competitive, the schedule out of the gate, it's pretty, it's going to be fun. We've got the Legends week 1. And then I believe we have the Bad Boys, and then followed by the Diablos. So, I mean, you're talking, 3 of the best teams right there.
We'll get our faces kicked in regular season, but anything can happen in the playoffs.
Exactly.
Don't sell yourself short either,
Oh, yeah, no, not at all. There may be these, super teams forming and stuff like that. Well, you call the Diamond Dogs a super team of underdogs.
Oh, yeah, I love that right there.
And
woof, woof.
We
you never know what these rookies.
It's going to be fun, but it's also going to be a learning experience too, and I mean, after the season that I put up last year, I'm sure it'll kind of ground me a little bit, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, Josh, you had quite a few home runs last year. How many did you have?
I finished with 18. I'd also missed 6 games. So
okay.
I think I was
18 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was 4 behind you, Zach, but I know we were back and forth there.
We were. I missed a few games last year too, but we won't get into that too much.
Right.
So
I think Ballard, in terms of like home runs per at bat, had the more home runs per at bat over you, Milbourne. You might have had more, but in the limited at bats he had more per at bat than you did. So,
he was number 1.
Little rivalry plug right there. Maybe a home run derby.
Jeez. It is what it is. I like it. Josh had a great season last year. Andy, I was looking at your stats. You hit over 500 last year, and Travis has the experience. So you guys have 3 returning players, 4 including Danny, but he's been off for a couple of years. How is that going to help you in this tough division? I mean, you're going to go against Grant. You're going against Nate and Schefter and Mike Hogan. How the 4 guys coming back, how much are you going to lean on that to help the 2 new guys as well to navigate the season?
Yeah, well, I think first of all, like, what are really the expectations of this team? Like, we don't need to like try to shoot for everything this season. Like, this is kind of a learning season for us, learning to play with each other, and also we're going to be teaching the game to these guys. And Brian and Joe, which we don't know really what they got yet. So I'm kind of hoping Brian's going to be a lefty ace. That's what we're hoping for. Because that's going to be kind of what we need, because pitching last year, I struggled pitching. I know Josh he's a pitcher, but I struggled pitching, and it kind of messed me up health-wise too, because I just felt like I was I tore my hamstring, but I think I was a little messed up from pitching so much that my body couldn't handle it coming into the season. But I think we're a team that's going to be grinding out bats at the beginning of the top of the lineup, and then we got Josh and we got Travis behind us. So I'm thinking me and Danny at the top, we got that experience, and then Josh and Travis 3 and 4 spots hitting us in. I'm a switch hitter. I love to get on base. That's what I love to do. I like to put the ball in play and use my speed to get on base and be aggressive out there. And because I think I had 34 runs too in 89 at bats. So I'm trying to
crazy.
I'm trying to get around and rack up the numbers.
Oh yeah, and I know playing against you last year with the Brutane clan, we were getting frustrated because you would get just a little bloop single. We'd field the ball. Next thing you know, I'm like, how the hell is this kid on second base already? And like Travis said, it reminded me so much of Connor Barr and those lanky legs, and you
Oh
just
yeah.
go, go, go. And it was tough seeing you go down with that hamstring injury because you were having a hell of a season. So
Yeah, it was
hopefully, are you
disappointing.
healed? Are you all healed up at this point?
Oh
Are you
yeah,
good to
I'm
go?
healed up. I've been playing basketball this winter, getting in
Awesome.
shape. I'm gonna start lifting here this week coming up and getting back to lifting 3 to 4 times a week. And
Did you need surgery, or was that the
no,
natural?
it was just it just naturally healed. I had a grade 2 strain of my hamstring, so
Mhm.
that's pretty close. It was pretty close to a 3, which would have been like a complete tear. But
Exactly.
luckily
Yeah.
it luckily it wasn't too bad, and I was finishing grad school up. I went up north after that and took like a month and just rehabbed, and because I'm an athletic trainer, so I know a lot about rehab and things like that. So that helped a
Perfect.
lot.
You're
Yeah.
young
Yeah.
too, so that helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I think Grant can attest to this too, and it's the way that a lot of these teams are kind of building themselves. Between you and Danny, you guys are great contact hitters, and Travis as well. But you guys have two great contact hitters at the top with speed, and then you bring that behind with Josh and Travis with the power. And Grant, tell me if I'm wrong here, but I think that's a great lineup strategy on a lineup to really push some runs across and to make sure that you get the most at bats for your best hitters because you're not sure of what you're going to get with the two new guys, right?
Yeah, for sure. I'm really hoping Joe's another solid hitter. I think he's going to be a pretty good 5 spot hitter too, to give us that
Mhm.
little end of the lineup too. I'm just excited to see what those guys have. I know Brian said he's not as good of a hitter, but I know he's really confident in his pitching, and I'm excited to see what he's got.
Yeah, I can't wait. I love seeing the new guys in the league, and I know Grant does as well.
Yeah, yeah. In my input too, just because the bad boys were new last year, was definitely you're making the playoffs no matter what in this competitive division. So it's like use the regular season to experiment, get people reps. I think it's what we did with Lance last year. Like Lance never got that just consistent innings, and everybody saw the potential there. But like us just giving him consistent innings, like really paid dividends once it got to the playoffs. So,
Oh, for
yeah,
sure.
you guys got plenty of time for that.
Exactly. So, Andy, I think you're back here. You guys, I think all three of you guys played with Danny Trayer, correct?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
out already.
So he played fall ball last year, but he's been off for a few years. Josh, I'll let you go ahead and answer this one first. What are you guys expecting from him?
So the experience is going to be the big one. His experience, his knowledge, like what's going on the field, different scenarios, everything like that. With his bat, it's contact, consistent contact, and he's still got that pop. He can still take any ball out at any point, any part of the field. And with pitching, he is going to be a very, very solid arm. Whether I'm not sure, he was kind of talking on the fence of whether he was going to relief pitch more than actual starts, because wear and tear on the arm and everything. But I believe he's still effective either way, especially like those close games, down to the last inning or two, and let's say we need a fresh arm to come in and kind of shut the door. He could definitely provide that.
Without a doubt, and I've hit against him too with the way that his arm angle. It's tough to hit, so he'll be successful pitching. And like you said, he hits to contact, but he hits the ball hard too. So it's going to be fun to watch him back in the league and see what he can do. Andy, how did you guys get Travis, or I'm sorry, not Travis, Danny, to come back into the league and to join up with you guys?
I think he's just looking to get involved in the league again and wants to play a little more consistently. Like, I know he came in at the end of last year, but I think he's looking to play a full season and looking for that competitiveness again. And I know with Ballard coming back in the league, I know those guys are longtime buddies, so I think probably wanted to play with him again, and we're glad to have him.
Yeah, so
I can't wait.
Yeah, so Trayer actually got me my start in wiffle ball. He actually brought me in back in 2013 when he was on a team called the Underdogs. And
yep.
We had a good run that season, and then that team disbanded. And I think he kind of played, a couple games here and there. I went on to the Firebirds, and then the Graboids after that. But one of the biggest things is we just kind of, he's not sure how many more years he's going to have, but he knows that there's definitely still quite a bit in the tank. And we wanted to try and make one more run, maybe shake things up in the competitive division a little bit. So.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait for it.
It's actually really funny how Trayer brought you in to a team called the Underdogs, and then you kind of help bring them back to a team called the Diamond Dogs. That's too funny.
That's why I said we are the super team of the Underdogs.
Thing is, I remember facing Danny back in the day, and he, aside from Connor, was the only lefty that had velocity for a long time that I can remember, aside from Connor, and he could sling it. He just didn't have a ton of help behind him, and we were able to put it in play occasionally. But no, Duke can throw. He's legit. I am looking forward to seeing him as our 2 or 3 starter. So I'm excited.
I didn't realize. So he's a lefty too.
Yeah, we get.
Wow.
Yeah, him and
you
Brian
guys got the lefties on your team because Brian's the lefty. Wow, nice.
We're very ambidextrous.
We're hoping to have that help on D too, because
we're all about the
I'm hoping to play
dogs.
I'm hoping to play left field pretty much every time out there, every half inning, to hold down the defense. And I think that's a big part of pitching is how much defensive support you get.
Yeah,
100%.
Absolutely.
Andy was a Gold Glover before he got hurt, in my opinion. He was hands down my vote for a Gold Glove until he got hurt. And that just sucked.
100%.
100%.
Yeah, after Andy went down, our season would take a whiff. It lost quite a bit of steam, and I've spent a couple of nights wondering, but we could have maybe done a little bit more, gone a little bit further, and even ended up meeting with the Brutang clan there in the Tom Selleck Championship at Andy. But
I agree
too.
I am excited to not have to, because aside from Chef, as a chucker, it went to me to play left field, and I'm fine. I'm serviceable, but Chef is good. So you know what? If he can play left field, and I can hang out in right, that's cool with me too. So
exactly.
We'll see what I have in the tank for pitching too. I don't know what I got for pitching, but we'll see.
Yeah, no, you guys will be fine. You've got a great squad. Grant, do you have any other questions for these gentlemen here?
No, I was just gonna bring up to Andy if you want to share, Andy. You don't have to, but also for the listeners. And I think all you guys on the Diamond Dogs know this, but it sounded like there's going to be a new rule implementation just to help get more people who might be on the social division who may be like, oh man, I kind of wish I could play a little more on the competitive division, because I know there's a few people like that last year who are like, man, it'd be nice to get more reps hitting, pitching, whatever. But they're like allowing it basically kind of like a call up where every week any team can just like call up a player to kind of play with them. And just it helps the player because maybe they want to experience more of the competitive side, and it can help some of the competitive teams like fill out pitching depth, or if people are gone, instead of, having somebody come in and be a sub, you can kind of get somebody who's already in the league to sub for you type thing. So that could be helpful for you guys. But I know Andy brought it up to my attention today as asking about somebody who, quote unquote, retired recently. So Andy, I don't know if you want to share that. Maybe he hears this and it's a cry for help with you guys
Possibly.
potentially.
Yeah. Our pitch to old Diablo Mitch to come back to
Mitch
the league.
Van Schillik.
Yeah, you can still golf. I
wow.
promise. It's only
That
once
would
a
be
week we're playing
huge.
football. You know, I think that would be a huge arm for us. MVP candidate. You know, like that would put us not in that super team category either, but to where we're a contender. I think,
Really good.
Or
Yeah.
Yeah, just
That-
would give us an extra arm. I was looking through the stats today of who can we get, you know what I mean? Like who's not signed yet, and looking at just like if there's anyone out there. And then I was looking at social too. I got a list going on those guys.
Gotta
I want
work
to
that waiver wire.
I got a
So-
list of the social players that some guys from Brutang. I know like Zach. I would want him on our team for a call up at some point. I know he's
Does
hard to face.
into the postseason?
I don't know if it's postseason or if it's just regular season. I can't recall what it is, but yeah, I want to say it might just be regular season. But if you guys got like somebody like a Mitch or somebody, because I
Hunter,
was
too,
telling Andy, yeah, Hunter Van, same thing. Both those guys, I think they just wanted to play golf this year, and that's why. So maybe they'd be interested in like subbing or playing 4 games or 6 games for you guys whenever you need it, type of a deal. But
yes,
that's
especially
the
with how
strategic
pitching
thinking
works.
you need out of a manager.
All right. So Grant, question for you. Next time you drop a major bomb like that, we got to have a breaking news thing. And secondly,
Where's the sound bites? Come on now.
Yeah, no kidding. Can a player in the social league, if they are being claimed off a waiver or pulled up, can they deny that claim?
They can. Yeah, no, it's totally up. You can totally deny it. And obviously, if there's like a schedule conflict, they can't. But if they're interested, it's got to be mutual interest. So, I mean, obviously, there's going to be people who are like, no, I'm not interested. Like, I don't care that much or whatever. But for the few people who might be interested, might be just a fun way to play more wiffle ball or to just get more experience seeing some of the faster pitching too. Because then you don't have to make the commitment to like play competitive, but you can kind of get more of a taste. So if you're like on that edge of like, I'm not sure, it's a good way for you to like kind of test it out.
Hey, do you want to come strike out 7 times? Come on over.
Oh, by the way, we're playing Mike Hogan. We need you up here to play, so good luck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
I don't know, Zach.
Well,
it's hard
gentlemen,
to pitch you inside, so I don't know.
Yeah, don't pitch me inside. But do you gentlemen have any questions for myself or Grant coming into this and out of the podcast that we got going here?
Kinda. So there was some hubbub last year around playoffs and the rules about, and I know Grant knows because we were talking about this during the playoffs. So the replacing people or it being outs if they're not there, we just need to make it the same regular season to postseason. There shouldn't be a different rule. I don't care which way you go, either way, it just needs to be the same, that way, like,
yeah,
I had an emergency last year. I had to leave, and monkeys got outs every time I was up to a bat. Just make it the same postseason and regular season. That's all. That way there's no confusion,
yeah.
Go either way.
I think
I don't
Lewis
care.
and them made some adjustments based off that, because I know they updated. They had made some changes to the rule book, like just based on some of the controversy, because there was that, and then there's also controversy on like if you're like rounding third and going home, but it gets into in the pitcher gets in the pitcher's mound, like wins the play called dead. I think they made adjustments to the rule book to
I just feel
clarify
like
both of those.
there might have been some hurt feelings last year, and I don't like hurt feelings. I love you guys, and I want this league to keep going and not have hurt feelings. And just clarification on that kind of thing. Like, if it's that important in the regular season, make it the same in the postseason, or vice versa. Either way, I don't care. Just make it the same.
Yep.
Because I don't want to make people sad when all of a sudden, like, we go to the playoffs and there's an issue, you know, because then you're playing with anxiety and tension, and nobody likes that. That's not good for mental health. We're having fun.
Yep.
Exactly.
And I don't want people to hate us. There's always a stigma against us anyway, and I don't want that. So
there's a stigma to every team, though. Every team's got that one or two players or that little reputation.
I feel bad.
Bad boy.
We're all good vibes. We're all good vibes over here.
I feel bad because Diablos are still paying for sins of people that haven't been on the team in 10 plus years. So,
Yep.
They're good guys over there. So, and then they're still getting shit. So
yep, it sticks with you. So all right, boys. Well, we're going to wrap this up here. I do want to make an announcement. We did post on the Facebook and Twitter pages as well as Instagram. The schedule is out for this year. We have 2 weeks till spring training starts. We are doing 3 weeks of spring training this year. And Grant, I believe is it the second week in May that the official season starts?
Yes, that sounds right. May 8th or May 10th or somewhere around there.
Hell yeah.
I think it's the 8th. It's the Monday.
Yep.
Awesome. Yep. So be looking for some spring training content. We do still have some more teams that we're going to do podcasts with. As I said before, follow us on YouTube and all of our social media accounts. Gentlemen, it was a pleasure having you on, and can't wait to see you guys in a couple weeks for some nitty-gritty baseball.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
In a few weeks. Diamond Dogs.
Y'all, awesome. I love it. Diamond Dogs are here to stay and here to shock the world.
Woof, 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 woof.
All right, boys. Y'all have a good one.
You too.
See ya.
See you guys.